Established in April 2021, Upland Development United is the oldest and most exclusive and transparent no development collaborative in the Upland Metaverse. Contact Morecheese at No.48 for more information. Warning: this podcast is produced by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and contains unsolicited and heavily biased opinions which are solely the views of the individuals involved. It does not include investment advice of any kind, and you are responsible for undertaking your own financial, including tax liability research relevant to your own individual circumstances.
Taking over the Upland Development United. Total meta domination.
Hello and welcome to the UDU Podcast show, year 2, number 48. I'm Ben 68 and it's either Tuesday the 3rd or Wednesday the 4th, depending on where you live. For today's episode, we're going to give a special shout out to our friends, the Nasty Hooks. If you don't know, the Nasty Hooks are the mad geniuses behind the UDU theme song and the Wine and Cheese theme song and all the little bits and pieces that we have going on. The Nasty Hooks are unlike anything you've ever seen or heard. They are provocative, they're genre defying, and you can catch them all over the place as they spread their digital madness and absurdity throughout the lands. It's the wildest show on wax, and Cheese and I, we catch shows when we can and can affirm that. So visit their official website to learn more. The link is in the description. Cheese, what do you want to say about the Nasties?
Every Tuesdays and Fridays, it's a fun time. Can't go wrong. They do contests. They have prizes. Their music is great. I sing their music all the time in the street to myself, to my husband.
Yep, it's perfect. Doing the dishes music as well. Put some headphones on, freak out, and do some dishes. And yeah, they also have a very awesome NFT series where they got, you can blend songs together based on ingredients and that sort of stuff. So yeah, get on over.
And one last thing for me, they give out tokens during their shows, and if you have enough tokens, you can get yourself
That's right.
swizzled. I got swizzled, so I'm an NFT with them, which is really cool. So it's another thing to check out from them.
Absolutely. If you like it nasty, go and check it out. Also, if you have an Upland NFT or Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, opportunities are available for sponsorship and engagement in the UDU podcast. Contact myself or the Cheese to discuss and secure your spot. Of course, all proceeds go towards giveaways and prizes on the podcast, not to fatten our wallets. As much as we would like that to occur, but we play it nice. This week, we're back to our regular program and podcast segments after the shuffle around we did last week for the special Spark Economy discussion panel. Thanks again to Dak, who helped put that together, and everybody else who was on the panel, and of course to the podcast participants that jumped in. This show is open to the Upland public, and we value and appreciate your input. So if you're in the Zoom now, feel free to jump in at any point and have your say. Just watch your hot mics, that's all. Remember to put them back on mute. If this is your first time listening, watching, or joining us, the regular lineup for the show is that we do a bit of a Breaking Badly news segment where we cover anything from crypto, Upland, the surrounding things, NFTs, Metaverse, that sort of stuff. Then we head on over and do a bit of UDU team meeting stuff where we review the week that's been and what's ahead for the premier collaborative no development team within and extending from the Upland Metaverse. So if you haven't heard about what the UDU is, I guess we'd be pretty happy about that because we kind of like to sneak under the ground. And then finally, we do the Upland Mash segment where we do the weekly giveaways. We have kind of open forum discussions, chat about contemporary Upland events, and run the occasional Metaverse spotlights or sponsor segments. And of course, the 1 million UpX wheels. We've got a little bit of feedback on the 1 million UpX wheels this week. People saying, what are the chances? Don't get me wrong, the chances are low, but they are there. It will go off. somebody will walk away with 1 million UPEX, and we can't wait.
I will
just-
see Ben crying on screen, which will be even better. So it'll be like 2 wins.
Not for the first one. The first one, I'm good to go. I got that in the bank, ready to go. The second one, if we have two weeks in a row, that's where you might see my eye twitching a bit. But yeah, we're going to build that sponsorship balance up. Once we get past the 1 million coverage of that, then we're going to bump that up. So it's going to greatly increase the chances of that 1 million UPEX going off. And, you know, the more that balance bumps up, the more we'll increase the chances. So yes, it will definitely go off. Somebody will definitely win it. And if you weren't aware, to be in the running for that, you have to be in this Zoom at least within the first, say, 12 to 15 minutes. Jazzy Jazz usually runs a snapshot then. Then you also have to be in at about the middle of the show to get the key phrase. And then you have to be in live at the end of the show as well. So you can tell us what the key phrase is. Then you get your chance to roll the wheels.
If you don't know the key phrase, just DM me and I'll like
Yeah.
secretly.
She's a soft old cheese, this one.
Good cop, good cop.
Yeah. I have been breaking up these segments and posting them separate. I think I'm going to do away with that because it's just a lot of work and I don't have much time for it. And I think I'll just instead just put the, you know, you can put the links within the description that can just zap you straight to the spots. Unfortunately, that means our reality segments with Arthur won't be able to be patched in, which is a bit of a shame. I'm going to have to try and work out a way to do that, or work with Arthur, see if we can do some separate little thing, because I love those segments. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the show.
I could do it. I could see if I could patch him in the video if you send it to me.
But if we did that, I mean, I can patch it in. There's no worries, but I was patching it in on the back end when I was separating the segments. Like,
oh, got you.
because when this one finishes, I scramble to get this all uploaded and sent off before I race off to the in real life job. So we'll see how we go. Anyhow, we'll kick off with the Breaking Badly news segment. First up in the crypto markets, again, thanks to CoinMarketCap, the global crypto market cap is down a touch from 1.79 trillion to 1.73 trillion. And that's kind of reflected across the wider space. Bitcoin's dominance is currently up from 41.07% to 42%. And we often know what that means once the Bitcoin dominance starts creeping up. I'm not a financial advisor, so I won't go into that in any more details. Prices, Bitcoin, pretty stable, 38.5K last week, 38.2 this week. Ethereum, same again, 2,860 last week, 2,800, about 20 this week. Wax, little bump down, was 25 cents last week, 22 cents this week. Engine has had the biggest drop in the ones that we cover. It was $1.31 last week, now it's $1.08. If that starts getting under the dollar mark, I'm going to have a very close look at that myself. Although I had a massive bag of Engine back in the day, that's something I'll cry about, cheese. Oh my gosh. And DAX Ripple price, it's also had a bump down, was 65 cents last week, down to 61 cents. In the old Upland markets, thanks to the Upland's marketplace analytics, the 30-day transaction volume is up from 2.84 billion to 2.92 billion. So that's had a bit of a bump, which is interesting. The 90-day average transaction volume is down quite a bit, actually, 126.5 million UPEX last week, down to 115 million UPEX this week. The 90-day average trading volume is also down from 9,700 to 9,162. What's really interesting, if you go over and check out that site, is have a look at the number of swaps graph. The daily number of swaps has dropped from every day we were kind of creeping up towards the 6,000s, and now that's down into the 300s. So, yeah, while they haven't killed collection swapping, it certainly appears to be dead. I'd say that 300, that'd be just normal trades, wouldn't it? Surely. You know, once you're trading property for property, I doubt that's collection farming like back in the day. Some of the numbers for the big cities that we focus on, thanks to upexland.me. Not a lot happening there either, which is kind of interesting to see, considering we're in an interim period between city releases. San Francisco it was at $20 to $26. It's about the same. There's one there at $20. But that's that guy that was spamming or buying up all sorts of properties. And I think he's in jail. So I don't know if that's bugged or whatever. But again, $20 to $26. The UPEX price in San Francisco was 30 to 35K. It's pretty steady at 36K. Manhattan was $85 to $89. There's one there at least at $85. Was 127,000 UPEX. Yeah, there's one at around that price still, but then it jumps up pretty quickly into the mid 130,000s. So, as you know, once that floor goes in Manhattan, it tends to rocket up pretty quick. Chicago last week we're at $4.70. This week $4.90. Last week 7,500 UPEX. A little bit of a drop down to 7,400. LA's had a big jump up in the USD floor price. Our jaws dropped last week when we saw the floor price was $3. So somebody's gone into LA and gobbled all those up. The floor price there is now $5.20, and the UPEX price has stayed pretty steady. Was 7,700. There's one there at 7,500, or a couple about there, and then it jumps up to 7,800. So not much happening there. And over to Cheesy's Bronx, the last one was at $9 last week, bump up to $10 this week, and a slight bump too from 12,000 UPEX to 13,000 UPEX. So not a lot happening in the markets. As for the minting, it's interesting to see that both LA and Queens are at 64% each. So it'll be
Nice.
kind of interesting to watch that.
We
how
got
that
some
plays out.
interesting Metaverse news I
Oh, yeah?
just found. Yeah. So Dubai announced today the launch of the headquarters of the world's first government regulatory body in the world of Metaverse by establishing a full headquarters for the Dubai Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority in the Sandbox.
Nice.
So that's it's pretty big.
Indeed.
Maybe more people will follow. More
governments, you mean? Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully so. We shall see. Well, what else has been happening in Upland News, Cheese?
Well, navigating the universe, the metaverse. Oh my God. Navigating the Metaverse, a book Dirk created with two others, came out May 3rd. And I hear that they're planning to do a signing event at NFT New York's NYC at the end of June. So if you're planning to go there and you want that sign, make sure you pick up a copy. Are you going to pick up a copy?
No.
Really?
No. The last two books I bought sitting in my bedside drawer. I read like 3 pages.
All right, understandable.
I just don't know. Any spare time I get is something to do with the UDU related,
Yeah, I hear that. I feel like I'm chained to my desk. Make
Yeah.
those NFTs.
It was funny to see a lot of people kind of butthurt in the community, like ragging on Dirk for, why are you spending all this time writing a book? Shouldn't you be fixing your game up, sort of thing? So that was kind of hilarious.
He's not a developer. This is any publicity is good publicity. So
Absolutely.
leave Dirk alone.
Yeah.
Instead of leave Brittany alone, let's leave Dirk alone.
You're going to start a campaign.
I can't do it. I'm too. All right. So they pulled down the Chicago Stadium. Rumor is there was a design flaw of some kind. Other rumors saying
What does that mean, though?
Well, I guess there's 2 versions of it. Like they did the old version. Free Dirk. Sorry.
So you mean an aesthetic design flaw or a functionality as far as going in and getting your NFLPA legit?
I think
Aesthetically.
Yeah, so this is the second one, right? They did the same thing to Cleveland. And did they even rebuild that? I don't know.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you rush things. These things happen.
True that. Well, we could talk more about that in the wine of the week because we have Goldsmith on today, and we can. Oh, Steve, My theory on the stadiums is the NFLPA or whoever has design rights over them saw the original Cleveland and Chicago stadiums and got on the phone saying that looks shit, take it down. I'm assuming that was your curse word. Cleveland Stadium is not rebuilt yet. See, and yeah, look at that. I mean, I made my building, my apartment in Cleveland in downtown just to be next to that
Oh, well,
stadium.
we've
All
got a
right,
new,
so
we've got a
go ahead.
design intern.
Design and turns.
Yeah.
5 new landmark buildings hit the chain yesterday morning. Now, this is always hearsay, so don't take any of this. Well, we have our silly little thing in the beginning anyway. So, all right. The 5 landmark buildings that hit the chain yesterday are 1410 Special Olympics Drive, Chicago, Soldier Field, 11 Wall Street, Manhattan, New York Stock Exchange, 1 North Weed Road, Staten Island, Fort Wadsworth Battery, 171 Fifth Avenue, Manhattan, the Flatiron Building, and 1 Titans Way, Nashville, Nissan Stadium.
Mm,
So
interesting. Have you ever been tempted to go all out and get yourself a landmark?
no. I love Upland, but my love only stretches so far in real life.
As far as funds go, you mean?
Well, as far as trust.
Yeah.
So I may love Upland, but do I trust it completely? I don't even trust myself completely. So
Interesting. Yeah, well, it's don't invest more than you're willing to lose, as they say.
exactly. I'm at the point where I want to start thinking about like playing for free or something.
Yeah, well, I've got that 10 million UPEX burning a big hole in my pocket. So I've been kind of, it's one of those things you think, "Well, maybe," but yeah, up
I can see you doing
until
it.
this point, I still managed to keep talking myself out of it. I mean, if I could do what Maddox does, which is buy it and flip it to Abdullah, yeah, I'd be all over that. But I don't really want to be caught holding a bag of some massive property. So
And he's like,
yeah,
nah.
no thanks, not this time. So yeah, I just think, imagine the slumlord properties I could buy with that. Imagine how many properties
Yeah.
I could buy with that. Yeah, so
I hear that. I
10
hear
million divided by
that. Oh no, he's
5,000.
doing the math.
I could buy 2,000 slumlord properties. So, or more.
Wait, wow. Wait, how much are you willing to spend on the landmark?
Well, you'd have to. You got to be up over the 10s, surely.
Oh, well, I would say up over the 40s.
Oh gosh, I'm not going that far. Jeez, no way.
Exactly. I'm like 2,000. Wait a second.
No way.
No.
No way in the world. So yeah, normally this is the time where we'd patch over to Arthur, but yeah, we're going to skip that for this week, Arthur.
He's like, it's cold. Back
It's
to you.
cold. You're frozen. Yes.
Should we go into our panel thing, or do you have something you want to talk about before?
Oh, we got a bunch of stuff to cover for that, so we'll race through. MVE updates. What's been happening in the wine and cheese? What did we do last week? It was a good one. Do you remember?
Jazz Half Moon Crafts. So
Yes.
she's awesome. I I really enjoyed having her on because like I mentioned in the wine and cheese, she really reminds me of myself when I first started and started with physical crafting and kind of evolved that into the NFT space and a metaverse. And she had her drop. I think there's 3 left of it.
The Beltane
Yeah.
drop, yeah.
Yeah, if that doesn't go by the end of today, I might grab them.
I don't think you can, because I was going to grab an extra one.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
you have to have one of her other NFTs to qualify. But it's insanely priced. What was it? 7 wax?
Yeah, for
a
only
1 of 20.
quantity. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely go and check that out. But yeah, it was cool to chat to her, and it was kind of crazy how much crossover there was between the 3 of us in our life stories to date. So that was a fun one for sure.
Yeah.
And I see you're working on the Mossy Jake NFT as well.
I am. I put some pictures up. Usually I don't do that in the beginning because my beginning pictures are so funny looking. And oh, like Mossy NFT. But this one I'm liking the direction it's going in. I feel like he's got like a really nice
Symmetry.
shape.
Is that what you're trying to show?
I was able to get it the first time, and that's usually the hardest part is getting the sizing and the distances. I still have to work on the colors, but I feel like it's coming along. So I could mention what it's going to be because I did mention it in the wine and cheese. So basically, we were talking about a coffee press. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
Oh, that's right. Yeah, poop
Yeah.
press or something. Yeah.
so I had to look through the wine and cheese show and find a kind of almost scared look of Mossy. So I found something that I found the perfect, like he has this scared look, his mouth is open, and then he's kind of staring in like shock. So he's like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put his hands on the glass. He's going to be inside a coffee press, and I'm going to put his knees up to his chest. So he's like just like sitting there watching us
God.
as the thing goes down on him and squishes him. And then there's
Ugh.
going to be like a faucet like for the coffee to come out of, and there's going to be two of them, and we're going to be standing there with our cups.
It's got to
and
be
it's
Upland Cafe cup mug, surely.
Oh yeah, I could definitely do that. I think I was drinking from mine yesterday, and it's gonna come out like his poop emoji.
Ah.
And Mossy will be reborn into our coffee cups as a poop emoji.
Nice. And don't forget, these NFTs are available for free. All you have to do is watch the Wine and Cheese show and follow the prompts.
Yes.
And we've got episode 33 coming up at the end of this week, but we don't like to give hints, mostly because probably we don't know what we're doing yet.
We have no idea.
There we go. That'll wrap it up for the Breaking Badly news, unless somebody else wants to chime in with something. Going once, going twice, going three times? No. All right, we'll touch on some UDU stuff. Wine of the week, Cheese. What do you got for us?
Well, I mean, this I really want participants to join in on, but what do you guys think of the stadium being brought down and having to do it all over again?
Yeah, it's kind of...
Goldsmith, get on. Your voice is so beautiful. Get on here.
They're all these shy people.
So in the fall, last fall, Bears bought land for a new stadium. They can break lease in 2026. So if they don't make us build another stadium for them between now and then, we'll be building another stadium in another 4 years.
God.
Well, as long as they put a prize to it, this way, like a lot more people have a chance to earn a prize. Well, for the last Chicago building, didn't they give out a prize for that?
Like three people won something, and it wasn't that impressive. So what they did with the Block Explorers with the LA stadium, that was definitely more of a distributive prize. And I'd like to see them do something like that again, because again,
Yes.
more people can get a prize. Smaller
That
prize,
was
but
that-
more people.
That was that Block Explorer Stadium thing, right?
Yeah, it was a
LA?
random draw. So if you put in, you may or may not get
I
the
won. I won.
Yeah.
All right. So
No, I guess that touches on a kind of personal wine I had too. Some of these prizes, you know, they're giving out like 5,000 UPEX. So come on, the community pool is fat and overflowing. No, I think they can do a bit better than that.
I mean,
For the
now
effort
it
that
is
people put in.
that they slowed down swapping,
Yeah.
but but like I would like them like Mossy just said, and Mossy, feel free to come on and say this, but he says, how many times are we going to rebuild these NFL stadiums? Cleveland Stadium was so close to being built too. They never put it to rebuild the Cleveland Stadium, right? Is it still down?
Yeah, I think somebody said it was. Yeah. Oh, we're in better. That's the get out of jail free card there. So see how
Yeah,
we go.
if they hand out more prizes and like, you know, some different people win, new people win, then I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this wine.
Oh, I got another wine too that I just thought of then.
Go ahead.
I missed my slot yesterday for the daily login. Well, I didn't miss it. I just forgot about it. So it was like way later than it should have been. I guess that's going to happen to everybody. It's going to get to the point where it ticks over to the next day and you're just going to miss out on that chunk of sleeping time. But
That happened to me already.
I was like, damn it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. How about a win? Have you had a win? Anybody had a win this week? I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head.
Well, those new landmarks, if they are a thing and they do come out, that will be a win, because that's like, I would love to see the Flatiron building and the stock exchange personally, and like bringing some like the Nissan Stadium to Nashville. Maybe it'll spark some more people wanting to kind of, because that still needs to be minted out, right?
Yeah, and I guess it too. It's the more of those landmarks that actually go up and are visible in the game, the more that's going to increase the demand for the additional landmarks they bring on. Because for the longest time, they've been selling all these landmarks, but you haven't really been able to see much of anything, you know, what that results in. So, yeah, I guess.
Well, Derek had a wine. Shouldn't be a holding period for collections if we minted the props. Waiting 25 days for a 6,700 bonus is lame.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that, because it should be a right. If you're minting it, it should be a right away thing. If you trade it is when that should start, but maybe they don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I mean, that's a no-brainer. If you mint it yourself and you're the first owner, you should be able to slot that in the collections. And yeah, I think you're right. That'll definitely happen. If they don't do it off their own back, the community swell for that will get to the point where they have to do it anyway. But yeah, it's probably a case of they haven't worked out the clickety-clicketing yet.
Yeah, and if that's the case, come on, I'm sure that's easy code. Hire some smart people.
Stop writing books.
So, leave Dirk alone.
Hashtag free Dirk. Yeah.
Free Dirk. Oh man.
All right. UDU around the grounds again. Do we have any other node managers in? I think it's just yourself and I again, isn't it?
Let's see.
These Slack node managers, I tell you what. While you're having a look, I'll just say MTU progress stats for Midtown Terrace. We're bumped up to 46% and, you know, grinding towards that ultimate goal we have of getting over 50. I've currently jumped out my Spark to help fix up a kerfuffle that happened in the Bronx node. So I'm helping Fish fix up his apartment so it reflects the cheese colors. And once that's done and dusted, I'll jump back in and stack back onto randoms in MTU. And who was it? You said Cafe Morgador or somebody managed to snag a MTU prop?
Yeah, I happened to be in the cafe when that went down, and some guy, I guess, I won't name his name. I'm not sure that wants to be out there, but he got a really cool trade for an MTU property. So, and he's planning on building on it. So that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And not a chance, Derek.
Let me know.
There's plenty on sale. But the node properties are, if you happen to get a good deal on one or a trade, then, you know, congratulations, you did good. But in order to be given a node property from a node manager, you would have to be in the UDU.
Well, even then, there's no supply.
That's true.
Midtown Terrace. It is the first ever node in the game. It's the oldest node. Because, you know, I pretty much established it. I've given out as much as I'm willing to give. You're going to have to grab it off the market or whoever did that. You can put trade offers in, you can put UpX offers in. You may be able to pick up one here or there. Just don't put any on mine, because then I'm going to spam you back with crap offers. I can do. But yeah, let me know if Cafe starts to build on that. Let me know, and I'll stack on that as well. My UCC contract for MTU has bumped up. We're currently at 97 of 190. So, and I did manage to make that payment yesterday. So I've got DAX hellhounds off me for a while. How about the cheesy node? What's happening in the cheese? Bronx node.
So Bronxdale, I am getting more and more people to build who weren't planning to. 2 new builds came up from somebody who I didn't have a good start with, but now, we're dare I say it, friends.
Oh gosh, that has come a long way.
So I really want to help him build. I am currently still trying to finish my apartment building in Cleveland next to the non-existent stadium. I actually started this build when Cleveland first came out, so I'm not going to just destroy it. And I only have 4 more days for it to be completed. So I'm going to, in 4 days, I'll be able to bring my spark back, which I got to 6.84.
Nice. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about, how can I say this? There's a lot of hype surrounding nodes at the moment, especially with some of the new people that are coming on board and establishing YouTube channels and that sort of thing. I did put a post in a couple of days ago. I don't know where it was, in the Upland debate channel, or maybe it was just the general channel in Upland. I'm just going to run that through that again today, because I think it's important to get that out there. It's what I've said is, here's a few tips about node establishment and management. Number 1, it'll cost you 10 times as much as you expect it will if you want to establish a node with any sort of solid foundations. And that's even minting a node. A lot of these new nodes, they're advertising node pushes in areas that are already sold out, and they're buying up the secondary markets. It just makes my brain explode. I'm like, say what? Really, really difficult to establish a node on the secondary market. It's going to cost an absolute fortune. And you're trying to build something where people have already staked their claims, and you got no idea what their plans are or what they're going to do. Sure, it's possible, but man, you're doing things the hard way. I don't know. Does anybody want to chime in on that?
I agree. It's very much a team effort. I think it does take a lot of luck to find an enthusiastic team to kind of help you see your node dreams. And I'm all for new nodes and players wanting to create a node. I think it's going to be very important going forward. It's going to bring activity to non-collection areas. So I want to see more nodes. I want to see more people doing it, but I want it to be taken a little more serious. Yeah. I don't think if you own like a few properties, you can say it's a node. Get together with people, start a Discord, or start advertising in the community area in Upland Discord, and say, hey, I'm looking to, start this node. Who wants to do it with me? Know that it's going to cost a lot of freaking money. My Bronx node wasn't cheap. I needed help. I had not only the UDU team and Ben helped me, and so many great people. I also hired UCC to help me with the FSAs. So there's people out there with that can offer you help. You just have to do your research. You have to make sure, like, it's easier to mint than it is to buy secondhand. So if you want to know, try to do it before,
Oh yeah, it's crazy trying to do it on the back end. There's 3 ways to do it. 3 ways to do a node. You either do it yourself on the quiet, like we've seen some people do, and like Abdullah might be a prime case of that, where he's just doing his own thing. You can do it with the team. And again, that involves a lot of communications before the city release. And, you all get together with a focused attack almost. Icon's really good at that, the UDU, obviously, and there's a few other groups around that do that as well. And then there's the kind of community node aspect where Portage Park was obviously the massive leader in that respect. But again, Portage Park, they didn't build their node on the back end once it was all sold out. That was done from the very, very early days and became like a snowball kind of effect. So yeah, gosh, if you're trying to establish a node or you want to establish a node, yeah, do it at the city release, not on the back end. Do yourself a favor because it's hard enough keeping nodes together as it is. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It is hard. And keep it secret. Like if you don't own that much of it.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Don't you're gonna get people who are gonna want to come in and flip it. Like, oh, you're doing a node. Okay, I'm gonna buy as much as I can. And you can't, you can fault them, but you can't really fault them because it's a money game.
Yeah.
They're just playing the game.
I've got a point that kind of touches on that as well. So the second kind of point is that you may get a lot of interest early on from community members who have a bunch of great ideas, but surprise, surprise, 95% of those ideas and all of that talk will fail because it's very easy to talk and very few people actually act on their ideas and put in the effort to see them through to fruition. Think about all the chest beating hype machines we've had in the UDU, and it all comes down to a handful of people to keep things chugging along. So yeah, talk is cheap. That's what I say.
Goldsmith, you want to say what you typed?
What do you say?
Sure. I love that people won't cold read what I type now. But yeah, the current YouTuber node strategy seems to be, you find a sold out neighborhood, you buy that floor up, you start watching that floor rise, and then halfway through, you just have that idea that, okay, we can't do this anymore because the floors are higher than what we can afford to pay. And
it's just pump and dumps.
Yeah, exactly. And as they watch the floor rise, now they can start selling what they bought in early.
Yeah.
It sounds so familiar.
Yeah, there needs to be another terminology because that's not a node. A node is all about coordinated property development and business development. What that is, I'm not sure, but it's definitely not. It's not what I defined a node as back in the day. Another point is you will have members, as Cheese kind of alluded to, you will have members in your team who actively work against the group's plans to further their own self-interests. As Cheese, it's a money game. There will be some people that by hook or by crook, they're just going to get theirs and that's it. So that works to undermine a lot of things, which leads to the next point is you will need to work through drama. So much drama. Drama.
Oh my gosh, because you're gonna have to plan. If you're not a people person, assign a person that is, because you're gonna have to talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm a people person to a point.
Yes.
You can't make deals with people you call greasy in a public forum.
Well, apparently you do. You're best mates now, so who knows?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh, okay.
That's a different guy.
So yeah,
yeah, I got lucky with this one.
All right. So yeah, even if you're successful with navigating all of that, okay, you manage to get the financials sorted out, you get the team on board, you're working, everything's going great. Everybody needs to be reminded that there's no assurances whatsoever that any of your efforts will amount to anything, because the Upland team hasn't committed to any sort of structure or plan surrounding neighborhood development. The UDU is the oldest and the most established node development team. And we've been saying since day one, we're doing all this stuff, we're putting in all this time, effort and money, but we are acutely aware that this might all be for naught. So, the team could turn around and say, okay, we have this new building design that's going to give you 10x the neighborhood development points. And we're all going to go, oh, crap, we've just spent the last year and a half building all this other stuff. Now we got to demolish and rebuild. So,
well, I hope they don't do that. And even if they do, I kind of like the fact that all the buildings in my node are exactly the same. All the small townhouses are the same and all the townhouses are the same. The only thing I really wanted to see, and Lily from the Upland Cafe, UCN moderator, she had this cute build. Oh my God, for that event for the build a new place for like the Bronx or whatever, and the other places that aren't as important. So she she had this really cute build that was nice and thin, because there's so many properties in the Bronx that you can't build on. And in my node, I think there's about, out of 314, at least 10, which is a lot.
Yeah, they got to do something about that, because, and I've been saying that for ages, like if you look at the street view, most of those properties have got a structure on them. So they have to do something.
Fancy Drew says, I love this node talk, by the way. I've been really wanting a 101 class on the basics, and I really appreciate this.
Cool. Yeah.
Which is true. I mean, it could be, it definitely needs to be a node talk. I don't know if it'll be.
This is going to sound wanky as hell, and I guess it kind of is. But I'm the self-proclaimed node father. Like, this was my concept. I came up with it, sort of thing. It's kind of horrifying to see the word being thrown around so loosely, and you can just see so many of these projects, which they already have done. They're just going to crash and burn, and people are going to get jaded with the term and the concept, and that's no fault of the term or the concept. It's just being used out of context, and I don't know how to phrase it well enough. It's just kind of horrifying.
Here's the thing. There's going to be other uses for nodes.
Yep.
What you want to take from it is what you get from it is what you give. And I'm not going to go into too many details, but next week we're going to have a guest on that him and I are like talking business about nodes and having events and stuff. I'm not going to say any more, but he said he'll be able to fully go into it. Whether or not they come out with collections is, to me, an added extra. What I want to do personally with my Bronx is I want to have events. I want to make the Bronx lively. I want to bring talented people, whether you're an artist, you're a singer, you're like into comedy. I know they have that comedy stuff that they do. I keep missing it. I want to do it. I'm part of their Discord. That would be great to have on Wine and Cheese one day. I'm just saying, if you're watching,
Absolutely.
contact me. Yeah, and I want to see more events. I want to see people saying, "Hey, come to this city. We're having an event in this node." Yeah,
it's about communication and coordination. It's not about finances. Like, maybe some people have seen what the UDU's done in Midtown Terrace and other nodes, where we push the floor up. We're not pushing the floor price up because we're going to cash in and make bank. We're pushing the floor up to get it out of the reach of flippers so that we can control what happens in the node. Like,
yeah, you're right.
How many of your node properties are for sale, Cheese, or that you're going to sell?
None.
Yeah. How many of my 300 something Midtown Terrace properties are for sale or I'm going to sell? None. It's a completely different mentality at the core foundation. So
Every and even if I do the ones that I had a lot and I gave to the new people that came in, I'm sold out now, but I was able to get Dog in there. I was able to get Larry in there.
Yeah.
It felt really, got Level in there. It felt really good to get these people in there, because I know they're going to build. I know they're going to not want to sell right away. Like, and I tell everybody, like, I'm not here to force you to do anything. Once you have a building on there, you can sell it. I just want activity. I want it to look active. And if the whole Bronx Dale is built out, or the whole, I'm not sure if what you're okay with, but for me, if the Bronx Dale is built up and you want to sell, feel free, but you're going to be missing out on a lot of activities in the future.
Yeah, and it also, the key point that we're working towards is that whole rental aspect, which again, we don't know how that's going to pan out. So we have members within the UDU, like somebody just mentioned before, can I get a Midtown Terrace property? Well, the supply's tapped out. So while you can't buy into that, unless it's off the secondary market. You may in future be able to rent it or something like that. But this also gets down to the terminology of a node. What is a node? A node is a connection between two or more areas. A node isn't just like one spot and then that's where you're going to build it. That's not what a node is. That's just a bloody hood or something. A node is, as it was envisioned when we first came up with it, is a connection of these different projects. Like Cheese has got the one in the Bronx, and I've got, we've got two in San Francisco, and all over the place and that sort of thing. So, if you were to come on board as an Upland Development United team member, while you may not be able to get into those earlier nodes, we're constantly doing new projects and that sort of thing. So, and of course, we're always on board for supporting people that want to set up their own nodes within the team and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I blabbed on. Oh yeah, what do you got?
One extra thing. It was a direct message, so I won't say, but someone kind of reached out to me and was like, good people you trust could be good teammates and diamond hands. And it's true. New people, we aren't looking for new people, but new people can definitely come to us and express interest. And what we do is, if you're a nice person, that's the first thing we look for. You just have to be a nice person. And we put you through a vetting process. The only thing the vetting process does is check the blockchain and see whether or not you have anything that looks suspicious. And then we talk to you. It's not, hey, this looks suspicious, get out of here. We talk it through. Everybody makes mistakes in the beginning, and we take it from there. We got a new person yesterday, Miss Fancy Drew. We have more people that we're vetting currently. We're just not actively looking, but you can definitely come to Ben or I and express interest.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Now, we have blabbed on for way longer than I was planning, so I'm going to skip this next part and we'll just head straight into the Upland Mash.
We do the mash.
Oh, you're going to sing? Awesome.
Mash.
Now, do you remember what the weekly prize? I always throw this to you as I scramble to get ready. Do you remember what the weekly prize was for last week? Does anybody remember?
It was a Chicago thing.
Yes. And what did you have to do to win that?
I don't remember.
What you had to do was, it was very easy. All you had to do was find out the property address that started everything as far as nodes and Midtown Terrace and United, Upland Development United and that. And I tweeted the answer. It was all out there, and we only had 4 people put any effort in. I'm pretty sure there was only 4. Apologies if I skipped you, but yeah, I had a good look through and I could only see 4. So let's see who's going to win that.
Tier 1 Chicago, only 4.
I get cool music here. Oh, there you go. Look at that. It's the Fin Man.
Finsky, I don't hear your music. That's not fair. Woohoo!
Woohoo, Finny. And yeah, Mike.
Mossy wants to know what was the address.
Good question. It was 30 Aqua Vista Way, Midtown Terrace, San Francisco.
Nice. Congrats, Mr. Finn.
Challenge for this week, and this is a segment that I just skipped over. We were going to talk about it a bit before, but we ran out of time. So we've been talking about how to restructure the MBE server. It's kind of expanded a lot since we kicked it all off, and it's getting a bit cluttered, and people are finding it hard to find where they're supposed to post or whatever. Yeah, so we're definitely looking at doing a big, massive restructuring. And if you've seen any of the history of the UDU team meetings, we're not shy about throwing everything in the bin and starting again from scratch. So while this restructuring won't be as drastic as anything like that, we do want to find a way to better coordinate everything. For example, we have a lot of friends of the MBE. There should be a way to separate those. So, could be Upland related, NFT related, that sort of thing. But yeah,
I feel like it kind of needs to be compressed in
Absolutely,
some way.
yeah.
If you guys have any suggestions, ideas, please feel free to chat about it with us in the general chat in Meditainment, if you could find it.
Yes. So yeah, if you can offer some feedback there, any sort of feedback that you can offer, we'll put you on the wheel next week to win. We don't know yet, but it'll be something cool.
Oh, I found my win of the week. It just hit me.
Oh,
All
hit us
right,
with it.
so Jonesy from Corporate World NFT, he was
Oh,
on the
yes.
One and Cheese show. So he posted on his Twitter, and I didn't know until Lil
Yeah.
from Lil Creations was like, those two look like Ben and Morecheese. And I was like,
Yes.
what? And I went and checked, and it's so cool. I can't wait for the drop. You should check out Jonesy from Corporate World. He is cool, and we're going to be the dynamic intern duo.
Immortalized again via NFT form. Yeah,
I
so
love
definitely
it.
check that out. So yeah, I'm not sure what the prize for next week's going to be, but yeah, any feedback you can offer, any suggestions. We appreciate brutal feedback. We've got thick skin, so have at it. Let her rip. Don't bite your tongue. And also, I put up 2 additional prizes through the week. I happened to be scrolling through Facebook, and I found a memory that was quite interesting. If you can see that, there's a picture here. And I said, if you can explain this in 500 words, you'd get 10,000 UPX for the best story and 10,000 UPX for the most accurate story. Now, we did have a few submissions where I'm struggling to give away UPX here, people. What's going on? But yeah, so I had a look through this morning, and I think, where did I mark it? The best one was...
It was a really funny one.
This one. So this is from Lalem, who said, I came home drunk one. Oh, I should say for people who are listening, the picture is me asleep in a bathroom sink with a little hand towel over me as a blanket. So yeah. Lalem has said, I came home drunk one night from a party. I went to the washroom to change my clothes and wash my face. So I saw my good looks clearly from the mirror. I asked, who's the fairest man of all? The handsome man smiled back at me, and it is me. I saw a little white bathtub. I fit myself into it to wash my body, but I fell asleep. So 10,000 UPX for you. There's some parts of that are extremely accurate and scary. I'm thankful to say it's not the who's the fairest of them all. So yeah, congrats to Lalem. 10K on the way for you. I'll send you a DM. And the other one, there was a couple of good ones there. Cheap room for rent, New York City, clean and cozy, all modern amenities, laundry just around the corner, only $1,200 a month.
1,200 is cheap. Even for a sink in New York City.
So yeah, I skipped it. Lalem's one, that was the most accurate. So we'll give Lalem gets the 10K for the most accurate. And the other one here was from Buellerman from the UMC. His comment was, those lovely memories when my mum washed me. If I am right, decades ago, there was more space for me. My rubber duck and the towel fits better too. 10K on the way for you. Now, you probably don't want to hear it, but I'll give you the quick, too long, didn't read version. So I had a mate that I lived with in Japan for a couple of years. We both moved back to our own countries and for a couple of years, and then we both moved back to Japan again. And this was our reunion night. We got together, got just hammered drunk, and I snuck off to go to the toilet. But apparently, I have no memory of this, by the way. Apparently, I decided that the sink just looked too comfortable. So I got in there, fell asleep, and then he kept drinking for about 20 minutes and then come looking and try and find me. He found me there. So he put the towel on me to keep me warm,
Aww.
took the photo and left. He left me there. So I was very lucky that the basin didn't snap off the wall because this is my mother-in-law's house. So I would have been in all sorts of trouble.
Oh my God.
There you go. So sorry to interrupt your regular programming. Now, Cheese, I believe we have some special topics to talk about today, Upland related topics. And what do we got? Oh, we got plenty of time. So that's good. We've probably got about 30 minutes, something like that, 25 minutes.
And
What's happening?
Mossy, maybe we'll get to that question after this. The topic I wanted to talk about today was Upland events. So I thought maybe that this would be a great way to kind of give people an idea of what's out there currently, what kind of things stood out from past events and yada yada. And my favorite topic, stuff like for the future, what would you like to see, and kind of artists that stood out for you. And I was hoping Fancy would lead us off on this with her pretty fancy voice. I know you're always busy throughout the day, so let me know if you're able to do this, Fancy. If not, I see unmute.
Da, 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 da.
Miss Fancy.
Da, 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 da.
We can't hear you if you're talking.
Something's clickety clicking.
Uh-oh.
Oh, pardon me. Well, that's getting organized. What else is happening?
Yeah, so Zoom defaults to crazy mics, Fancy. So you might have to check your mic because it does this all the time to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
So while she's looking into that, should we answer Masi's question about what
Testing.
Oh,
Oh,
yay!
there she is.
Hooray!
Yay!
Sorry, you go ahead and answer Mati's question though, by all means.
Oh no, afterwards. I wanna have time for that. Like that we could all have a discussion on that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for asking me to join you. I'm Fancy. I am, as far as I know, the newest vetting member of UDU. You may remember me from my ridiculous GIF intro post yesterday in the Discord. I was really excited to hear that we were going to be talking about community events today because that's one of my favorite features of Upland. Like, of course, I love my blue rectangles, but the community events are a really great way to keep people engaged and to just kind of create something new and different and interesting and keep it fresh. So yeah, it's there's always something exciting happening. Right now, one of the things that I know a lot of our artist friends get really excited about is the art-based competitions and the design-based competitions. Right now, there's the Genesis Week Ornament Contest happening, which is, looking at this, it's kind of like designing a bat signal that would go on top of structures where it projects an image up into the sky. I think they're pretty cool. I personally do not have any design skills at all. So I'm sitting this one out and spectating and looking forward to seeing all the cool designs that people submit. It looks like that one is open. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd. It looks like that one closes tomorrow, Wednesday, May 4th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So there's still time to get in on that as of now. So that's kind of the major contest going on right now. One submission per player. Looks like it might really open the door to some neat things. It's going to be interesting to see how those display once they're created and once they're applicable to buildings. Like, is that going to open the door to night mode? Like, that's what I'm really excited about. Are you only going to be able to see them at nighttime?
That's a
What?
cool
I would
kind
love
of
that.
like to have night and day in Upland, but I guess they would go on the PT. I know Ben said something about beginning of Metaventure store signs.
Ooh,
Maybe we shall
That's-
see.
yeah.
You haven't
'Cause
been
right
tempted
now-
to hire a third party yourself, Fancy?
You know, I've thought about it, but I feel like if I don't have the goods myself, I should leave it for somebody who does.
Yeah.
For the design stuff, I feel like, you know, we have so many really artistic, really creative people in the community that to outsource the work so that I can get the prize feels kind of cheap. So, you know, and I know that's not to rag on people who do that, because I know a lot of people do that, but I would rather, you know, excel at the things that I'm actually good at, which is like the scavenger hunts. That's my personal favorite kind of the events that we have. So I'm curious to hear what people's favorite events are. Like, that's the Genesis Week Ornament Contest is the one that's going on right now, the primary one, but I'd love to hear what other people's favorite types of events are. Like what are you great at? What do you like doing? What have been some really good historical ones you've enjoyed? Let's hear it, y'all.
I personally, I really like the art ones. I can't participate because I'm not a Blender person, but I love seeing kind of like what people put out there and all the talent. I just have to do one devil's advocate for you. The people who hire people, I kind of feel like in this metaverse or in life, there's thinkers and there's doers. And I think the doers need the thinkers as much as the thinkers need the doers. So if you're an artist, but you're an extreme introvert and you're like, I can do this, but I'm not gonna even dare, I'm too shy. You can kind of partner with somebody to kind of get that done in a way where you both benefit, like they're benefiting from your outgoingness and your take action sort of thing, and you're benefiting from their great art and whatnot. I think that's definitely a good thing. If you just hire somebody that like is just doing this and that, I can't speak for that. But if you have like a good team or network, I think that's great.
That's a lovely way to look at it. And yeah, if I was ever to do it that way, I would want to make sure that the artist did get proper like attribution. Like I would want to, make sure that, this design submitted by Fancy Drew, but the actual work was done by Morecheese, or I would want to.
Well, you can name it Fancy Cheese. Like I know Lily
cheese
from the cafe, she put little cheese or something because I motivated her design to make it really small for the Bronx. She wasn't picked. I was so disappointed. But like D-Tech, for example, he's amazing. Like I kind of took a backward stance for him to do some of the artwork in the UDU. And I know this is off topic and I'm so sorry, Fancy, but this is great. I'm such a so he did all the art for the new membership NFTs for the UDU, and I minted them because I have the whitelist. So what I put in the description was art by D-Tech, because like just perfect. To give him that, because he's such a great artist. And you're absolutely right that they should at least give some sort of like shout out to the artist. So I do agree with that.
It's a mental conundrum. Like I can answer Mossy's question in the same reply. So Mossy, 30 Aqua Vista Way, I chose that because Aqua Vista means water views, and my MetaVenture business is Samurai Aquatics, which was supposed to be an all aquatic theme, garden, ponds, pools, that sort of stuff. And never mind that now we can't use water, but we won't go into that. Kind of to get back to what Fancy's saying, I could very easily hire Blender people from, just random Blender people. There's websites where you can go to, Fiverr.com. There's a whole bunch of those websites. I could get someone to design me, say, a swimming pool, cost me $5. I could then put that into Upland and then make, I don't know how many untold millions. I don't want to do that. I've since my business started, I've been trying to get partners on board. Like I want to keep it within the Upland economy. We have recently got D-Tech on board as the artist. I want to share that skill, or that opportunity, with multiple people. Financially, it'd make way more sense for me just, as I said, to hire a third party and cash it all. But that's not really what I'm interested in.
Yeah, I think cultivating the skill that we have here in the community and giving them, doing these contests that give them a chance to really showcase their talents is a really great thing. And to Cheese's point about people who might not have the drive to enter themselves, but have the skill and have the creativity, like that's a great point to, be able to give them an outlet to have someone enter on their behalf. But yeah, it's I tend to prefer putting my personal energy into things like I love the scavenger hunts because I love solving puzzles. I think they're the funnest. Those are by far the most fun events that that Upland does as far as I'm concerned. I love just my Discord name is Fancy Drew Girl Detective, because I love just figuring things out. And I just think they're absolutely the most fun thing that Upland has put together as far as my personal strengths and interests go. So, and I've racked up a couple of really cool BEs from those, which are really neat. And it's a fun way to earn things that I probably wouldn't ever have the liquid or, maybe the interest in purchasing on my own, because I'm trying to always put my money back into new property and stuff like that. So I've got myself a nice little collection of fun BEs from being able to, crack some codes, and that's cool.
It'd be nice if they just mixed up the time, not at 1 a.m. every time.
Yes, that's totally fair. Yes, 100% agree.
I would love to see Seppuku and Uplando put some more of those scavenger type things. I know they did the trivia, but I kind of feel like Seppuku was really, really talented with putting those things together, and that would be something great to have like once a month and whatnot, or even more, twice a month.
Yeah, that was before I joined.
Yeah, hopefully the community and the platform gets to the point where we can run these things independently of, of the overlords. That would be ideal. Well, because Seppuku, she's the catalyst for all of that. Like she set that all up. So, it's kind of sucks that the idea that she came up with has now been kind of taken over, and she's been, for lack of a better term, cock blocked out of it. It's it'd be great to see her have free reign to do what she wants in that respect, and for the community to be able to pick. There's an event. There's 5 events happening in SF this weekend or today. There's one in LA. There's I think we'll get there. It's probably just a matter of time and patience.
Great.
What about everyone else? What have been some of your favorite events that have gone on, the community events in Upland?
I'd like to bring something up.
Yay.
So it's Mossy Jake. One thing I'd like to bring up is I love the community event where artists decided to mimic the real life property in game. So they had to go out, take a look at the actual physical plot of land in game. So like go to the street view, and then they would build it up in Blender. And what I think about that is it would be really cool. I know it's really just art driven and oriented, but it'd be cool if they did another contest like that where however many you did, you won like 5K epics or something like that. And we kind of like, in a way, just everyone won. So instead of like one person or 3 people winning, it would be like, hey, you all win here. Here's your little participation trophy BE that you get. And now we have all these new structure types that you could use. There's going to be one in the real world, in the real world that looks like it. But if you really want to use it somewhere else, you can. And I think that would be super, super cool.
Awesome. And we forgot to do the code word cheese. So I think Mossy just dropped it for us there. We all win. There we go. That's the code word for the Million Upex wheels. We all win. But yeah, that was a really cool prize thing, or whatever you want to challenge that one. It was interesting to see some people would see those. Some people would be scrolling the map in Chicago and they would see this randomly shaped property and they're like, hey, look, there's a new property type coming available. And we had to say, no, it's just a one-off. So.
What about the statues? I wanted a cheese statue.
I submitted my 3D statue for reaching executive. The second after that became available in game, which I think was October 2020. Would that be it? I don't know when did I start playing? January 20. Yeah, it might have been October 2020. I submitted my statue. I've since long sold that property, so I don't know what they're going to do there, but yeah.
Oh man. Oh, we'll see.
And on the topic of community-driven events, I don't want to shout anyone out without their permission, but Mossy, are we okay to talk about your totally cool thing that you did independent of the game, or are we? Because I know you've been kind of on a drive to start creating community events.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course we could talk about it. And you talking about the scavenger hunts brought me up in my mind. I'm doing laundry over here and such, but we hosted a community event called like the crown holder event, and it was a treasure hunting event where you had to send to all these different properties. And because you had a bank account with the Epic Spark Exchange, we were loading funds into your account and keeping track on the blockchain. However, many times you sent to a specific property or all these other properties. And the concept is huge. And so when you talked about the scavenger hunts, if really all it takes right now is for someone to get an idea going, to say, these are the props we're going to have to send to, here's the storyline, here's this and that, and we can plug it all in. And have, sorry, I got to breathe sometime. I get so excited. Plug it all in, they load up on the website and they would start and say, send to this property to start. And when you send to the property, my website will tell you, oh yeah, Mossy Jake actually landed on that property within the last 5 minutes. So he's good to go. And then I get the next prompt. This favorite cultural spot in Oakland used to house the once annual event known as, and then, you send to the property. And once you send there, the website knows, okay, he sent to the first one, trigger the next queue. And then the next queue card comes up. And we really don't need to wait on Upland at all for anything else right now.
You're right. We could take it. Like they kind of showed us the way. And I feel like we can definitely take it from here.
Yep. I think Moss is a prime example of one of those really annoying people that are both thinkers and doers.
Yep.
He's got the
Well,
crossover.
we're annoying like that too, Ben, but you're more the doer. You made me become more of a doer. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think of stuff and tell you to do it.
No, I'm the all right.
And then I get in trouble. Yeah.
Okay, Rose.
Yeah. We have our in joke. If you've seen, well, I don't even what's that movie from? I'll get right on top of that, Rose.
Don't tell mom I'm
Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Yeah.
I'm right on top of that, Rose.
I'm
right
I
on
say that
top of
all
that,
the time.
Rose.
I love that.
Yeah.
No one ever gets it, so I have stopped saying it. But
That's Cheese's mind in
I
joke
used to
all
say
the time.
that to Ben.
Yes. All right. Are there any other hot topics we're into?
Well, what about like future events you would like to see? Like, I would like to see some event that I kind of want to see an event that forces people to team up.
Like the Spud Wars kind of thing and all that sort of
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
I would love to see that. Maybe not as destructive.
There was a lot of negative
That was a
aspects
lot
of
of
that. It did get quite nasty, didn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, something like that where, it's not going to be a structure that's going to be there forever, but a structure just for that event, and people get together for a week to kind of like capture the flag or just something along those lines. And I'm sure this is going to come out when cars come out. And I know Upland, has ideas for this as well, but I would love to see more community stuff, because I think the Spud Wars was the last kind of thing where people had to team up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I want to see in property experiences again. Like we had this the first Halloween in Upland, and I always whinge about this. There was a competition where you could put together a short Halloween video, and a lot of us did, including the Nasty Hooks, and that's a video that you should source and find, because the one they
That
did with
was
Stirs
amazing.
Merlin was just epic. So it was a tour you sent to a property, and Upland put like these little Halloween houses on your structure, on your property, sorry. So you'd send to there, you'd enter the building, and you'd press play and you'd watch the video that was there. Now, we were supposed to get this last Christmas. They put the call out. A lot of us made all these videos, and then they pulled the plug and it fizzled and didn't do anything. So it's all there. They can do it. For some reason, they're not doing it. That was so much fun. That first Halloween was just awesome. Second Halloween just sucked. It was so bad. So, yeah.
I would really love to see stuff like, I know you made a video and they didn't even.
Yeah, well, that was annoying. I mean, because, my kids and everyone got involved with that too. So, but I think when they did that was so long ago, and the community's expanded, probably 100-fold since then. It'd be great for people to be able to actually see that we can have in-property experiences, and that can kind of shed some light on what the future is going to be for displaying NFTs inside your properties and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
I would like that. What do you think of these? All right, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm sorry, Upland. What do you think of these corny events that they have out? Like pick a superhero ability and name for your block explorer, or weird. Oh, you won this one. Weird looking plot. Ben,
What did I win?
you won something. A weird looking plot.
No, that was for the 30 Aquavista
Weird
Way
and
story.
wonderful.
Yeah, that was for my story about the background behind 30 Aquavista Way, how it was the first
Oh.
node property, blah, blah, blah. I think they're just trying to keep they're throwing bananas at the monkeys, stop them
But
rattling the
all right.
cages.
So even though they're corny, I think they are necessary.
Yeah.
To keep like the masses entertained. I feel like a good amount of these are also kind of grabbers to gather information for the future. Like, all right, so the Metaverse product placement challenge, pick products and include miles in your block explorer. Like that one kind of got me a little excited because I try to look in between the lines, like product placement. What are they trying to get us used to? What are they trying to edge in there? Like, are they going to start? I would love to see product placement within Upland.
You're going tinfoil hat. Nice.
Yeah, no,
And
I totally agree with you on that, Cheese. I think it is a fun way to keep things fresh and to keep things moving and to, kind of keep us distracted and give us a fun new shiny when there's not anything actually happening in the game. But at the same time, it is from kind of a R&D perspective,
Yes.
a very cheap and easy way to take the temperature on the sort of things that people are interested in and that
Mhm.
people are enthusiastic about. And based on how much engagement they get with certain things and how hard people go for stuff and the types of what they submit and what kind of flavor of responses they get to things, they can glean a lot of really good data from that for fairly cheap.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's actually a pretty smart move on their part, even if they're kind of silly sometimes. I think it's a great, from a business perspective, it's actually a pretty good move.
Yeah,
And
they're fairly cheap.
especially-
That's cheap as you can get. That's like I said before. I think they need to bump it up instead of 5K, make it 20 or 30.
I agree, and
Yep.
to Goldsmith's point, rip Bob the Panda, rip in peace, Bob the Panda.
Like one of my personal favorites was the Trinity. Pick 3 things you would have done differently starting Upland.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I have a feeling
that's
that,
great.
yeah, they came like, what if they come out with a guide? What if they come out with like a hard or a soft copy or a downloadable copy, and they're looking for things to kind of fill it? And like, what would you have done differently? That's like Ben said, that's the best R&D you can get.
Oh, that was Fancy said that. Yeah.
Oh, Fancy, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
That's okay.
That's the best R&D you can get. And yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like the corny myself. I don't think they should give more than 5K.
Why?
Because
Back it up.
it's all right. So if you're not doing a big art thing, you're not doing, it's a fun thing that takes maybe 5 minutes of your time. I think $5 is more than enough. You don't want to kind of give too much. I don't know.
Maybe I'm out of touch because my dividends way more than that every 3 hours. So
Dude, I make close to 20K a day, like with like but dividends are like 15, and then with the visits and whatnot. So
okay, so maybe if you're new and getting established, 5K is a big carrot, but I don't know. It just seems paltry to me. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a couple of more minutes. Is there anything else we want to touch on before we run the wheels?
Do you want to go back to that Mossy thing?
Oh, I already covered that. So yeah.
Oh, you did?
We touched on that. Yep.
Where the heck was I?
You must have been clicking or checking your DMs or something.
Well, I remember when you were doing it. Like, I remember when you first started that node, and I remember that's how I met you.
Back in the old evil empire days. Yep, there's quite a story there.
Yeah.
If you haven't read that story or you want to know more, go to udu.world. It's all outlined there in the UDU website.
All right. So
And Fancy's going to hop off. Thank you, Fancy, for jumping in. Really appreciate you getting
yes,
on
thank
board.
you so much, Fancy.
And yeah, apologies it took us so long to get you vetted and in the team, but we're very happy to
not
have
at
you in.
all. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know everyone and being a happy participating member of the community. So thanks again. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
Awesome. Alrighty, Cheese, did you want to get the... Oh no, I
those-
got to find out who's going to play first, don't I? All right, let me close chat. And thank you to Jazz again, who took the screenshot at about the 10-minute mark before she bolted off to do her badminton stuff. Now, nope, that's the wrong one. Has that switched over to the right wheel? There should be a few more names on that. Can anybody see that?
I
you
can
saying?
see it. You might want to take my name off of it though.
No, you're in. Everybody can play except who's putting up the prize. And I'm putting up the prize, so I can't
Oh,
play.
wow. Oh, wow.
We'll see. Well, you put more effort in than anybody. You're worthy. And look at that.
No way.
They- Conspiracy, they're going to call it. Conspiracy.
Oh, my God, we all win. We all win.
We all win. We all
It's
win.
a
There you go.
pre-recording.
It's a pre-recording. It's a scam. All right, I'm going to stop share. Now, Cheese, I don't think I gave you share yet. So let me do that.
So I'm gonna do the wheel for myself. That might not look right.
Ah, well. As I said, it's only the person who's fronting the prize can't go. So, and you're not fronting the prize. I am. So,
Yeah, no, I know, but you might want to do the wheel because I can't do it and pick.
no, you can do it because my computer will die.
Oh gosh.
So you pull it up if you
Alright.
got them there. Yeah, my computer can barely handle those ones.
All right, hold on, let me find it.
And what I turn up for the books, this will be.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so just to reiterate, to qualify for the wheel, you need to be in at the start of the Zoom to be part of the snapshot that gets taken. You need to be somewhere in the middle so you can hear what the code word is, and then you need to be at the end. Alrighty, what's happened here, Cheese? I'm seeing a black screen.
Oh, you see a black screen?
I don't know, it was up for a second and now I'm not seeing anything. I've got a funny blue
Uh-oh.
line in the middle.
All right, let me.
Just unshare and reshare, see if that fixes it up.
Oh shit! All right.
What have
Fuck,
you done?
fuck. All right, hold on. All right, good. I refreshed that. All right.
What are you doing?
I'm nervous. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this at all.
Well, you put the math together, so it'll be interesting. You help put the math together, so we'll see see how you go at playing. I
Alright.
still got the black screen here.
Oh, hold on.
You might have to unshare and then reshare.
Do you see anything?
Yep, now we got it.
All right,
It's-
I'm
it's
gonna
small, but we can
make
see
it big. You see it still?
Yep, all good.
All right. Oh my God.
All right, so this is UpX Podcast Prize Wheel number 1. So the max prize on here is 25K. Normally I'd say tell Cheese when to stop or to spin it, but go for
You
gold.
tell me when to stop, Ben. I'll spin it when you say.
Or when to go. Go. If I do this and it lands on the mill and I'm the one who said go, I'm going to shoot myself. Oh my gosh, you're close. No. 1,000 UpX. So
All right, I'm
gonna,
gonna go for the next one.
you're not going to bank it. You're going to spin again.
If I got that 5, I would have banked it.
Yeah, you're pretty conservative when it comes to the old UpX. Okay, so wheel number 2, the max prize is 50K, but the other prizes, most of them go down. So it's a bigger chance to get a lower prize. Just go Cheese. All right, let's see what we got. 50K on the wheel, 50K.
Oh man, I guess I gotta keep going.
Are you down to 500? You don't want to bank that 500? Now I'm getting
No.
nervous. Okay, so we're going to go to wheel number 3. And wheel number 3 is the one with the 1 million on it. So let's see. Go Cheese.
If this hits and it's your fault. Oh my God, it's going.
Da, 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 da. Oh,
1250.
my account
what?
survives for another day.
I'm happy with 1250.
So that's 1,250 UPEX I owe the Cheese Meister. And I'm going to get those other 2 prizes out. All right. Well done, Cheese. You can stop screen share and we shall wrap this up. Thanks everybody for jumping in. Yes, as you may have heard, there is a competition for next week. Jump into the MBE server, have a poke around, have a look around, put your thinking cap on. How can we fix that up better? Brutal feedback appreciated, and patch that through somewhere in the MBE Discord and tag Cheese and or myself, and we'll have a look and we'll work on that. And we don't know what the prize is going to be, but we'll make sure it's a decent one. So yeah, just in wrapping up, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Spread the word. As we said, this show is open to the public each and every week via the MBE Discord. We want people to join in. We want people to get involved. And we want somebody to win that 1 million UPEX. We really do. So,
me.
yeah. And of course, if you have an Upland NFT, Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, yeah, reach out and get in touch and we can work something out and get you involved. And that includes opportunities for special Metaverse spotlight segments and all sorts of different stuff that we can help you to promote what you've got going on. And you can also help support the show and making that 1 million UPEX a bit more of an achievable goal. That's all I've got to say. If you've got anything else, Cheese, otherwise wrap us up and we can get out of here.
We're done.